What's going on, guys? Today we are not going to be on the water. I get asked this question all the time. Hey Andy, what do you have on your kayak? What box do you use in the back for all your tackle? How do you deploy your trolling motor? What fish finder do you have? So today I'm going to answer all those questions. Let's do it. If anybody's looking to get an idea to see how much it costs to build a kayak, this is more of a budget-friendly build. So I'm not going to say it's very cheap to build, but it's definitely not the highest end that I could have gone. I wanted to keep it a little easy on my wallet. You guys will see how much everything was and exactly what the item is that I'm explaining. All right, so let's do this thing. So, self-explanatory, this is a Bonafide kayak. This is not the newest model. They just came out with a model at ICAST this year, the XTR. May or may not have called my kayak representative for that one. See if we can get it pre-ordered. So this one, PWR129. PWR stands for power. This kayak was designed to modify with all the power options, meaning fish finder, trolling motor, the whole 9 yards. Let's start back to front and go over what I've done to this thing. This little circle here, we are actually going to skip over that right now because that will end up coming into play once we get to the middle of the kayak. So to start, this is how you guys see the back view of my kayak. This is the Yak Attack pole. I don't know how long it is, maybe 5 feet. And all I have is a cheap USB-C wire from Walmart. And it's wrapped around this whole thing. And it ends up coming through here and going to right here. Right here I just keep a little power brick, and that's how my GoPro in the back is running all day. Do I recommend this? Probably not. It's not sturdy. I hit it once with a cast and it snapped off, so I JB welded it. For the price of it, not good. It shakes like crazy and it's not adjustable, it's one size. So, would not recommend. Next up, I'm not going to go over my net. It's just a cheap net off Amazon. It floats, and I like colors, so I put orange duct tape on it. Next up, we have the Yak Attack Black Pack. This is the 16x16 version, the biggest version you could get. It is expensive. I've tried the milk crate idea. I've tried a couple other options. This one is my favorite. It comes with 6 pole holders here, and I added 2 cheap ones from Walmart. And on my kayak I have these little clips that clip into here so we know it won't go anywhere. Inside here is where I keep all my tackle. Of course I got the Plano 3700s that fit perfectly in here. And then this right here is all my plastics. Always keep extra line for leaders and or respooling reels. This is just a cheap bin from Target. I think it was like $3. Put all my plastics in there, drilled holes in it so it doesn't get too hot. That's that. So right here is where I put my battery. I have it wired through my kayak. My battery is charging so I can make you guys a new video tomorrow. So I put my battery right here. I'll flip up the seat here. This is where the wires come through. This is made by Yak Attack. This is so it's water resistant going through with the wires. Obviously that's not water resistant. That's where I had my live scope setup going. Unfortunately, I do not have a live scope anymore. So to bring this all back around to the kayak, the Power 129 by Bonafide was designed, like I said earlier, for electronics. So that's why you're gonna see all these black placards here. They're all over the boat. There's one in the back here. There's one here. There's one up front. So they're all over the boat. Those are so you're not drilling through the actual hull of the boat. If you want to modify this thing and you end up drilling through one of these and you don't like it or you want to change it, you can just order one of these placards here and you don't have to worry about plastic welding your hole or filling in any holes that might leak later on. This right here is just a little tray that goes under my seat. These little ripples here, this is for poles. I can put 4 here and they just go up front, slide back and forth. Typically I don't have it in my kayak, but for the sake of the video, I have it in the kayak. The Bonafide seats are very, very, very comfortable. Prior to this boat and about 3 kayaks ago, I had a Bonafide 117, 11'7". and it was the RS model. It had a seat that was similar to this, but way less padding, but still very comfortable. So over here on my right side, I have a little piece of unistrut. This is how I just put all my tools. So I got my nail clippers, I got my grips for any pike, pick roll, whatever, scissors, and needle nose. So that keeps everything out of the kayak, so everything's not all tangled up by my seat. Moving on, these foot pegs here, these actually slide back and forth. They don't slide very well. Bonafide has worked on it for the newer models, and these will be fixed in the future, I hope. Why do these slide? These slide because back here, this little pull string here actually drops a rudder in the back of my kayak down here. It's a little dirty still from Lake George, so it didn't come down. That rudder right there comes down from the back of the keel, and that brings this circle into play. These wires right here are wrapped around this, so if you spin this, the rudder spins. So what makes that spin is back up here. Here are those wires I was just showing you back there. This right here makes that rudder go back and forth. When I have my trolling motor going full speed, half speed or whatever, I can sit down fish and I can move those back and forth, and that is actually how I steer this if I don't want to use the trolling motor to turn. Enough of the boring stuff, let's get to the nitty gritty. Garmin 93 SV, I had the GT54 transducer mounted underneath this box here. I don't feel like bringing it up because the wires are exactly where I want them and I don't want to mess them up again. So the Garmin 93 SV, for all you guys who have been following me since the beginning, you notice that I only have one now. I do not have the other one over here. I used to have the live scope. Got rid of it. I didn't use it as much as the guy that I sold it to is going to use it, so good for him. Hopefully he catches a bunch of fish with it. So in this little storage unit here, I keep a first aid kit. I keep some extra trolling motor parts in case I ever get into a pickle. And I always keep stickers in here. Everybody loves stickers. Don't worry about the cold medicine. If you watched my previous video, you know why that's in there. Hint, hint, go watch that video. Let's close that up. So right here, this blue cord. What is this random blue cord? So this blue cord is ran through another one of these placards. It goes through the hull of the boat and it ends up right here. If I'm getting on the river or if I'm in a very shallow spot and I have to use my paddle to go out to where I want to be, I get out, I paddle to where I have to go, and when it's deep enough, I pull this and it drops my trolling motor. I promise you it is not that aggressive in the water. That's just because there's nothing stopping it from going down. Moving on. This is my catch board for tournaments. I had it custom engraved at awa.fishing. Go follow. Angling with Andy. Love the color purple. It doesn't go with my kayak, but this was an option, so I had to get it. So this, okay. All right, I'll fix that later. I have this tethered down, obviously. Metal does not float. This little piece right here comes with this kayak. This kayak was designed for tournament fishing for the catch board. So as you can see, it fits perfectly in this slot. There's a little bungee here, so it won't come out. So these little tooth looking things, this brings me back to the tray. These right here where I put the rods, those line up with here. So in some of my videos you'll see I have my rods laying here. That's what it is. I have the rods in here and they're sitting on top of here so they stay nice and tight in there. So back to the Garmin, I have this wired through here, through this placard, and everything comes into here. It's a lot cleaner now because I don't have all the live scope stuff. So this right here is the power cable for the fish finder, and these are those cables that I have run to the battery, and those end up coming up here, are wired to this quick release for my trolling motor. So it's a very clean setup. I love this thing. A lot of people don't like this connection, but I've never had a problem with it, so why fix it if it's not broke? These two holes here are for rod tips. So Bonafide again made more storage area for rods. So you stick the tip in here, you come back, and right on your seat is a little bungee where you put your rod and you bungee it down so you don't have to worry about the tip breaking off and you don't have to worry about it falling out of your boat. So what moves this kayak? This is the Haswig 55-pound 12-volt trolling motor. It's all wireless. I control it with a remote on a lanyard. I went with this one because the XI3 was a little bit out of my budget, and I just wanted one as soon as I could get one, and this one was in stock. Fun little story. When I ordered it, it said it was in stock. Fast forward a day or two, I get an email that says it's out of stock, so I got my money refunded. I went to the store and I bought just a regular stern mount Minn Kota, 30-pound thrust. By the time I got home with that, I got an email that said this shipped. So I was confused. I already had my refund and they said this shipped. But we'll go ahead 3 more days. Me and my wife come home and this is sitting on my porch in a box. Check my bank account. I got the refund for it. So I called Walmart. I said, hey, I got the refund for this. This is at my house. Am I gonna get charged for it, or do I need to send this back? The guy said, nope, keep it. You got it. We messed up on our end, so now we have a free trolling motor. So that's how I got that. My trolling motor is mounted on a one objective PWR mount. So this is made by One Objective Bass Fishing. They make a bunch of stuff for Hobie, Bonafide. I think they make stuff for Old Town. Don't quote me on that. These things are super durable, very, very well made. As I was walking around my kayak, just so happened to see the old St. Croix. If you guys watched my last video, you kind of saw what happened here. Okay, if you didn't see my last video, I got it stuck in my trolling motor and I tried to pull it out and it snapped, okay? I don't have a good story that I was like setting a hook on a big fish. That's not what happened. Trolling motor ate it. Sorry to disappoint you. Up here as well, I have a little pin right here. I'm not gonna take it out because I'm about to get on this kayak and go out for a little evening trip. You pull this little U-bracket out, and once you pull that out, you can pick this up and you can move the trolling motor wherever you need it to go. So guys, that's all I got. That is my fishing kayak. If you saw my Facebook, which you should be following, if not, go give it a follow, AWA Fishing. You'll see that I asked if anyone would be interested in this boat. Do I want to sell it? Not really. Do I want to keep it? Yeah. Do I want to have 2 kayaks? Yes. Can I afford that? No. So that's the reason that I may get rid of this one. I've never brought this out in the ocean, but I want to get one that's rated for the ocean and for lakes, so I feel more comfortable going off to those albacore and stripers down the oceans. This is it, the Bonafide PWR129. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little walkthrough. It's a way different video than normal. We didn't get out on the water. I have so much content coming. I have funny videos, a couple like vlog style videos, I guess you could say, a couple how-tos. So just a little hint, I have one of my next videos coming up. I bought a reel and a rod off the TikTok shop that cost me $25 for both. I'm gonna put that up against in a little challenge my Fish NFX combo that I have. It's a Fish NFX rod with a Daiwa Tatula SV. So that's about a $600 setup. So we're gonna put a $30 setup against a $600 setup. We'll see which one will catch more fish, and we'll see which can handle more. That's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. If you guys want to, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, awa.fishing. I post on those more often than I post on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your weekend, whatever day it is. And like always, treat every cast like it's your last. Peace.